Hello beautiful people, welcome to today's video. Living in a foreign country requires that you hold a residency permit. Some residency permits actually gives you the permission to work and also stay in the country without necessarily having to hold an employment permit, whilst others do not. So in today's video, we are actually going to look at the various types of employment permits in Ireland for foreign nationals. It's very important because it's actually going to help inform other professionals and also international students looking for it to work or study in Ireland. Today's video is actually inspired by Emma Steve, and it says, "Thanks for the information. What about the link to the critical skill courses in Ireland?" Yes, so it's very important for us to know the various types of employment permits in Ireland. Please remember to go nowhere. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so you can all see the screen that is actually on citizen information. Okay, we are just going to talk about the 9 types of employment permit as I actually said in my introduction. So we can all see that the first one is the critical skill employment permit, which we are later going to delve more into for you all to know some of the important occupations actually required, or they are kind of short in Ireland. Okay, so these ones are like highly skilled people with the aim of encouraging them to actually come and then reside in Ireland. Okay, so we are later going to look at the list as I said earlier on, and then some of the benefits of being on the critical skill permit, okay, and also some of the criteria. And then the next one, we have the dependent spouse or partner employment permit, which is actually for those who are actually holding a critical skill permit, like myself. Okay, so I'm holding a critical skill permit. So with that, it's formally known as a green card employment holders and researchers on hosting agreement to apply for employment permit to work in the States generally. It is illegal for spouses and dependents of employment permit holders to be employed in Ireland without a valid employment permit. Okay, so it depends. With my husband, like this, he holds a stamp 1G. He does not actually require employment permits, but I know some people do require. So now there's a bit of change, which I'm actually going to do a video about it shortly. But I felt like doing a video about this is very important before I do that video as well. The next one is the intra-company transfer employment permit. So this type of permit, okay, it's actually very important for foreign nationals. Okay, so maybe we work in the, let's say, a branch in a different country, and then it's a multinational corporation, okay, which also has a branch in Ireland. Okay, so you can be transferred from that country to Ireland. In that case, you're going to apply for this type of employment permit. And we also have the general employment permit. Okay, so the general employment permit is a very range types of employment under this, but it actually have something called the ineligible list. So far as your employment or your occupation does not fall under the ineligible list, then you can actually apply for the general employment permit. So we are actually going to go through briefly about some of the occupations that actually fall under the ineligible list. Okay, and then we also have the contract for services employment permit. Okay, so for this one, it's saying that it's actually designed for situations where a foreign undertaking contractor has won a contract to provide services to an Irish company. So in this case, you have to apply for this type of permit. And then we have the reactivation employment permit, which is also designed to permit non-EEA nationals who entered the state on a valid employment permit but who fall out of the system through no fault of theirs, okay, and then have been treated badly or exploited in their workplace. And then we also have the internship employment permit, which I think is very important because most people do not even know that they can actually apply for internship employment permit. So if you want an internship and then you fall under the critical skill occupation list, okay, so when we go through the critical skill occupation list, you are going to see this, and then if you fall under it, you want to actually undergo your internship in Ireland, you can apply to companies, and then when it's approved, your company is actually going to apply for the internship employment permit for you. So it's very, very important. And then you also have the sports and culture employment permit. So this one is also designed to facilitate the employment in the state for non-EEA nationals with a relevant qualification or skills, experience or knowledge in the development, cooperation and capacity of sporting and then cultural activities. And the last is the exchange agreement employment permit, okay, which also replaces the old exchange agreement type of permit, and it's also designed to facilitate the employment of the state of non-EEA nationals pursuant to prescribed agreement or other international agreements to which the state is a party. Okay, so these are the 9 types of employment. So let's now go a bit more into the critical skill employment permits, which is very necessary for students and also for other nationals, and also students who also wish to also come and do or undergo their internship in Ireland. Then we can also have a little bit of look into the general work permits as well. So I want us to go a bit more into the critical skill employment permit, okay, which is actually going to help other professionals and also most international students on the type of courses that they should actually choose. So let's look at what it is and also some of the benefits of holding a critical skill permit, okay. So I think this part actually talks about critical skill permit is, so let's look at why it is very attractive, okay. It says that because the skills are identified as being in short supply, okay. And then the second one is that permit holders can apply for immediate family reunification. Okay, so you can immediately just apply for your family to also join you. Immediately you have your permit. And then the permit holders may also apply for Irish naturalization and immigration services for permission to reside and also work without the requirements of an employment permit upon completion of the critical skill permit. So immediately you complete your 2 years of holding a critical skill permit, you can now apply for your stamp 4, okay, which means that you can now work with one or more employers, okay. You don't have to actually be under any employer. Then let's look at the criteria for the critical skill permit. It says that the occupation with minimum annual remuneration of 38,000 euros for a restricted number of strategically important occupations, okay, which are actually contained in the list. And then we also have, in case of nurse or a midwife, a third level degree or diploma accepted by the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland as a sufficient qualification for registration to practice as a nurse or midwife in the state. And then all occupations with a minimum annual remuneration of over 64,000 euros, other than those on the ineligible list, okay, or which are contrary to the public interest. Okay, and then the last one is that a prospective employee concerned must have a secured 2-year contract. Okay, so your contract has to be for 2 years. I know other countries it has to be more than that. Okay, so now let's look at some of the critical skill occupation list. Okay, the first one we have is production managers and also directors. Okay, so like site managers. And then we have IT professionals. For the IT professionals, I will say that if you have this qualification, just try your best. Or if you really want to go into this or read a course in Ireland, I'll just encourage you, because they are really needed in Ireland, like just like any other profession, and they are really taking very good cash. So please, guys, if you are into this field, it's very good for you. We have health and social services managers and directors, senior health services and public manager and directors. And then we have managers and proprietors in agriculture-related services, like professionals, forester, resource modeling, earth of the observation, and data analyst. Okay, most of this I don't know much about, but if you're in that field, I believe it's actually going to help you. We have natural and social science professionals, like chemical scientists in manufacturing of food and beverages and all of that. Then we have the medical laboratory scientists, biochemical scientists, and then biochemists in manufacturing. We also have physical scientists in the manufacturing sector, and all of that. Meteorologists, we have operational forecaster. I hope I actually mentioned that well. And then we have the engineering professionals, okay? We have civil engineering, structural engineers, and then site engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. We have a lot of people back home with all this qualification, guys. Just go to Indeed, go to Irish Jobs, look for jobs and apply. If you really want to read a course into this too, it will also be a very better choice, because you know that right after your education, you're getting a job is not going to be difficult at all, okay? We also have electronics engineers specializing in chip design and all of this, as you can see. And we have design and development engineers specializing in quality control, chip design, process automation, engineering, power generation, related and relevant specialized skills. We have production and processes engineering, as you can see in all of this. It's actually a very long list, okay? So I'll just try to mention, let's touch on a few bits. We have chemical engineer, material scientist, and all of that. We have information technology and telecommunication professionals, my IT people, IT specialist managers. We have BIM managers, IT projects and program managers, IT business analysts, architects and system designers. We also have programmers and software development professionals, web designers, development professionals, and all other IT professionals. We also have the health professionals. We have the medical practitioners. We have psychologists. We have industrial pharmacists, and then the pharmacists, radiographers, radiation therapists, vascular technologists, and you have the gastrointestinal technologists, podiatrists, or the chiropodists, and then all the dietitians, okay, dietitians, and all of that, medical scientists, and all of that. audiologists, and all of that. And then we also have the therapy professionals, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech and language therapists, orthopedists. We also have the nurse and midwifery professional like myself, the nurses, registered nurses, and the registered midwives as well. And then we have the technical and educational professionals. Okay, as you can all see here, we have the business and research and administrative professionals. I know a lot of students here. I think I actually did a video with one person, Latif. He's also into research. He's actually doing his PhD, and it's a very very good course. And I'll say that if you're interested in research, it should be an option for you. You have all of this for you to actually look on your screen. And then we have the management and the consultants, business analysts. Okay, let's just go down. We have the architects and then town planners, architects, quantity surveyors. Wow. We have the architectural technologists and all of that. You also have the construction managers, commercial managers, okay, welfare professional, social worker. It's very good. If you are a social worker, you have thousands and millions of jobs on Indeed, Irish Jobs, and all of that. You have quality regulatory professionals, okay, and then we have the media professionals. A whole lot, guys. Health associates professionals, and also design occupation, sports and fitness, business, sales and marketing. Okay, all of this on the list. So now let's look at a bit of the general work permit, the list for that as well. So with the general permit, okay, as you can see on the ineligible list, with the general permit holders or those who actually wish to apply for general work permits, it does not really have a list saying that these are the jobs that actually falls under this. It only says that so far as the jobs listed, as you can see, does not fall under this. Okay, so they actually have an ineligible list. So far as the job does not fall under in the eligible list, then you can actually apply for the general work permit. Okay, yes. So in regards to the general work permits, with that, your family does not get to move in with you immediately. You can actually apply for your family after 12 months. Yes, and there is a good news about this, which is going to be a part 2 of this video on the good news for the spouse as well. I thought of actually doing this video first before doing that of the good news that was released for the spouses, or the partners. So with the general work permits, we have an ineligible list, okay? So if you fall under this list, you can't apply, okay? So with the ineligible list, we have managers in hospitality and leisure services. They are not allowed, okay, from outside. Then we also have managers in health and care services, okay? We also have managers in other services like property, housing, estate managers, and all of that. We also have therapy professionals, okay? So with the therapy professionals, it says that with the exception of orthopedists, we have the chiropodists and all of that. Other ones are not allowed, okay? We have the welfare professional like probation officers, other welfare professionals not elsewhere classified. And you also have the general person and related architectural technicians like tile planning and all of that. So health associated professional, pharmaceutical technicians, okay, and then dental technicians only. So these technicians are now allowed. Other health associates professional not elsewhere classified, or like the acupuncturists and then the whole path. I don't even know much about that and all of that. Those people are not allowed to employ outside the EU or apply outside Ireland. You also have the health, welfare and housing associates professionals, okay? So housing professionals, health and early years counselors, youth and community workers. You also have protective services of occupation like the NCOs and other ranks, police officers, fire officers, prison officers, and all of that are not allowed, okay, to be recruited from outside Ireland or the EU. You have the sports and fitness occupation. You have the legal associates professionals, okay, the sales marketing related associates professional like the estate agents and auctioneers and all of that. And then the public service and other associates professionals, okay. And then let's see what we have. It's a very long list, So I'm actually going to leave the link under this video to actually help you guys go through the list to see if you fall under the ineligible list, then you cannot apply for such jobs in Ireland. But if you do not fall under the ineligible list, okay, like the healthcare assistants, like the support workers that I know of, then you can actually apply for work in Ireland. A very long list, as you can all see. Yeah, so that is it. We can now go back. And then let's see whether we can find a few things to talk about. And then we can now go back to just wrap up. That is it, guys. It's a very long list, a very long list. So I just do was just leave the link under today's video. Okay, guys, so this is the end of today's video. I believe that today's video has actually brought a lot of enlightenment to my international students and also workers back home. At least if you are an international student or a worker, you know the types of employments that are actually on the shortage list and those also on the ineligible list in Ireland. So that at least if you are taking up any education in Ireland, you'd go in for the right one, okay? At least if you know that I'm going in for the course that actually falls under the critical skill permit, it actually helps because when you are out of school, it's easy to actually get a job. If there is shortage, definitely, you know, demand is high. So it actually works like that. And then apart from that, after 2 years, you also become eligible for the stamp 4. And then after 60 months, you become eligible for your citizenship as well. That same also applies to workers of other professionals also back home. If you have any other query, why not just leave it under today's video. I'll try my best to also answer as well. Then in addition, if you have any suggestion as well, it is very much welcome. Remember to support your girl by liking this video, sharing also to other friends on different platforms, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever, TikTok, wherever at all. Remember to subscribe and also like today's video if you think that it has been of great benefit. See you all soon on my next video. Bye.